Minnesota fighting Vikings superstar wide receiver Justin friggin' Jefferson proved all the haters and the losers wrong, as well as everyone who thought that he was just a slot receiver. Setting a freshman record for receiving yards in a season in his rookie year en route to being second team All-Pro. The former LSU Tiger sat down with GQ magazine. Here are the 5 most revealing quotes from the interview. Number 1, interviewer Tyler Tynes. When I spoke to scouts last year, plenty of people raved about you being an elite player. You ended up as a 5th receiver off the board. Did that sting you? At the time, you called it a shocker. I mean, I kind of figured it would be like that because of all the hype those other guys had. Those guys, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Reagor, were picked ahead of Jefferson. Being the top tier guys going into college, I knew there'd be some politics that happened in front of me. I tried not to worry about it too much, but it got to me a little bit. I didn't feel like I was the 5th best receiver in the draft. I just used that as determination. I used that as fuel to keep improving my game. And he's right about the hype. Jerry Jeudy was the slot dude, big time Alabama receiver. Ruggs had the speed. CeeDee Lamb was Oklahoma killer, and JJ wasn't even seen as the best wide receiver on his team. Like, all the love for Jamar Chase was last year as the 2019 LSU Tigers went undefeated and put up mind-blowing numbers with Joe Burrow and Joe Brady, and fueling the fire. Right? And he talked about him being a 2-star recruit, all these other guys that stars all over the place. So I get it. So at every single level, this kid has been doubted and been hated on, and he has been proven everyone wrong. Next up, number 2, but it's clear you're a budding star. There was so much buzz around your name heading into draft night. One possibility was the Eagles. At one point, I heard that you started looking at houses in the area. You ended up falling one spot later. There was a viral video from the Vikings draft room that we profiled this week about how excited they were to have you. What was it like to go through all that? Leading up to the draft, they had all those mock drafts and people sharing their opinions on who is going to go where. A lot of people had me going to Philly, and I thought I was going to Philly. Honestly, the funny part is, Philly was on the board, and then Minnesota called me. At first, I thought it was Philly, but I answered the phone, and it was Minnesota. It's crazy how all of that happened and everything, but I'm definitely excited that I'm on the Vikings rather than Philly. Woo! That last part, just a little sting in there. Philly, what a mess, right? And I still believe in Jalen Reagor, but that front office, the coaching staff, like everything, it has been an absolute disaster. Plus, I think the interviewer Tynes is from Philly, so it's like double sting. It hurts. Also, I heard you were looking at houses in the area. Like, why are you stalking Zillow, man? Like, why are you worried about Justin Jefferson's real estate portfolio? Oh, you mean looking at houses in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and then commuting over the river? Get out of here. Number 3, when you came into Minneapolis, there was a lot of going on immediately. Stephan Diggs was leaving, and it felt like the press and fans of the team put you guys against each other. No? Why was it so testy coming into town after he left, even though y'all are on good terms? It's tough. It is definitely tough coming in as a rookie after a guy gets traded that was pretty much the number 1 receiver. People expected me to be the same as him or outperform him. There was a lot of questions about me being able to live up to Stephan Diggs and all of this. It definitely made it seem like we were enemies, but we got cool over the season. I just saw him working out at a House of Athlete, and we were talking there too. We grabbed a connection over the course of time. And I don't know. This is a bit of straw manning. Like, when you came into Minneapolis, the media was pitting you two against each other. Now it was more fan and media frustration with Stephan Diggs and hoping that Justin friggin' Jefferson would be able to take up that mantle. And he certainly did, right? Justin Jefferson performed as well as Diggs ever did here in Minnesota, and then Diggs blew up in Buffalo. Now, can he sustain it? That's the question. But more than happy to have a younger wide receiver with a higher ceiling. And it's like when your ex and your new girlfriend, they become friends, where it's like, oh, they should probably hate each other, but they're cool. Whatever. That's fine. Next up, number 4. That's refreshing to hear. Randy Moss said you were the future of the Vikings, but the same fans cheering you ran him out of town. What kind of question is that? Have you considered your status as a face of Minnesota sports in all this, especially given what happened to your predecessors? My God. Of course, I know what happened and their situations, but I feel like I'm my own person. My journey is different. I'm going to be the one who's going to control how my journey is. I'm here to play football. When I'm in the facility, I'm all about football. There's no diva. There's no cockiness, nothing. I just being myself. I like to have fun and play football. Being there with my teammates, my brothers, that's all I need. As long as I'm getting my little share of the ball, then I don't see no problems. But going back to that question, but the same fans cheering you ran him out of town, especially given what happened to your predecessors. What kind of leading question is that? That's trash, man. That's trash. I respect Justin Jefferson. He's going to do him. And whatever happened with Randy Moss, I'm sorry. I didn't know that the fans fired Denny Green and then also had Chris Carter opt out of his contract so that Randy Moss's support system was completely gone. And then Mike Tice let him do whatever, so it completely went downhill. And I'm sorry, I didn't know the fans implemented a run-first offense and gave Kirk Cousins that big-time contract that didn't sit right with Stephan Diggs, and then he forced his way out of town. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know us, the fans, did that. Please. That's a stupid narrative. Anyway, but with Jefferson, that last line is pretty telling. As long as I'm getting my little share of the ball, I don't see no problems. It's like, I'm not a diva as long as I'm getting the rock. Right? So, but I don't think that should be a problem. I know the Vikings want to be a run-first team, but you have Justin friggin' Jefferson. Just get him the ball as much as possible. Lastly, number 5, at the end of the season in December, down 2 scores to the Bears, you were caught in the end zone on a live mic asking Kirk Cousins to get the ball out of his hands quicker. Frustration in football isn't new, but why do you think it became a story? I think people ran with it because Stephan Diggs just left for apparently being a diva. So I guess that having the assumption that I'm just going to cry and ask for the ball too much, whatever. People fail to realize, folks say this all the time, but now with COVID and no fans, there's hot mics. You hear everything in the stadium. I really don't care about that type of stuff. I'm going to say blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so it was an absolutely nothing burger then. It's an absolutely nothing burger now. The whole F Kirk, throw the flag, right? So, nah, get out of here. Get out of here with the nonsense. And it was a lot of people with bad intentions like, oh, see, he's just like a diva, just like Stephan Diggs, and eventually he'll force his way out of town too, and he'll leave, and blah, 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 blah. Nah. It is just competitive frustration. And he's right. Because of empty stadiums, mics were picking up on everything. And if it was a full stadium, full crowd, cheering, yelling, all that stuff, it's nothing. It would have been nothing, and it's still nothing, and it is nothing. Right. So more Justin Jefferson is good. Love to see it. Like, the kid has a work ethic, good head on his shoulders. I think that it helps being the youngest brother of a family of athletes because his brother Jordan was a big-time quarterback at LSU. So he's seen everything. He's learned the ropes, and he's really coming in mature, humble, motivated, and he's going to be himself no matter what. Vikings absolutely got themselves a good one. So can't wait to see what he does in year 2. But your thoughts? Justin Jefferson GQ interview. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. While support that work, post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.